Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, dear friends. Welcome to Kardec Radio and welcome to another series. We are here together in this beautiful Saturday to read a message, to reflect, friends, and we are here to pray with one another. So today we gonna read a message that is in this book, The Way, the Truth, and the Life, psychographed by Chico Xavier by the Spirit Emmanuel. And this message is something that we will help us really reflect about lives, reflect Jesus' lives. So let us read it together and then we can break this message down. If you have the book, it's chapter 55. It's titled Branches of the Vine. I am the vine, you are the branches, said Jesus in the Gospel of John, chapter 15, verses 5. And Emmanuel explains to us Jesus has been love and the good from the very beginning. All the benevolent ideas of humankind have originated from his divine influence. In this passage from the Gospel of John, he rightly tells his disciples that his sublime spirit represents the tree of life and that his true followers are the promising fronds. He adds that if separated from the trunk, the branches would dry out and be fuel for the fire of purification. Without Christ, without the essence of his grandeur, all human works are destined to perish. Science is fragile and impoverished without the values of the conscience, and religious schools are doomed to failure as soon as they depart from the truth and the good. Jesus' mercy is infinite in the activities of planetary life. At the center of any noble expression of life beats his loving heart, full of the sap of forgiveness and goodness. Men and women are green branches of the glorious tree. Whenever they fail at their duties, they dry up because they isolate themselves from the sap and fall to the ground of bitter experience, so that they may be purified in the fire of reparatory suffering, to be taken up again by Jesus in his mercy. Therefore, let us prove our faithfulness to the Divine Master, reflecting on the many times that we have dried up in the past, in spite of the immense love that sustains us throughout life. Friends, this is such a beautiful message. Jesus said that he is the vine. You know, the vine, the tree, and we are the branches. So, what is he saying to us? And Emmanuel explained it so well. Is that Jesus is like the trunk of the tree, as he says. He provides the nourishment for each and every one of us, like the trunk of the tree, that fuels the branches. So, the only way, friends, for us to truly move forward and succeed is in this life is to have Jesus at our center stage. He said himself, and it's the title of the book, he said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And Jesus said, you cannot get to the Father without me. So, who are we without Jesus? We are nothing without Jesus. But then we may ask, but what do you mean, Daisy? How can we feel Jesus close to us when we sometimes feel so far away from Him? Friends, that's the beauty of Spiritism. Spiritism brings Jesus so close to our hearts. Not that Jesus that is suffering at the cross, but that Jesus, as we read in the books by Neil Lúcio, Humberto de Campos, and so many others like Jesus in the Home, Good News or Boa Nova in Portuguese, Roteiro de Jesus, also in Portuguese, in English, maybe the roadmap to Jesus. So, in those books, we get to know more about Jesus as a master, that he was there with everyone that looked for him. He was there. And not this master that is superior, that makes others feel less. On the contrary, he was all embracing, all loving, all kind of people with different religious beliefs, of different social classes, different cultures, different races, those who were sick, those who were well, he made himself available. So we need to build this relationship. Jesus is there, like the trunk of the tree. He's always with us. But it depends on us of feeling Jesus and bringing him closer to us. His teachings. And that's why it's so important that we study more about Jesus. We read in the books that we have mentioned, and here at Kardec Radio, we have beautiful programs like 40 Nights by the Promise Consoler, The Jesus in the Home, and so many other books that have been studied here. And you can go to Kardec Radio's channel on YouTube and find the playlists and listen, because we get to know that Jesus was kind, he was loving. He would approach the disciples, he would caress their hairs, he would smile, he would, be there in that gathering together. So, why is important? Because without Jesus as the center stage in our lives, as the true representative of God, we will dry up, as Emmanuel is saying in this message. How? If we focus too much, if all our focus is in the material things, in the passing things of life, money, our jobs, making sure that we're successful, that we are better than others, that is not the Jesus that we get to know. Jesus was that one that came to show us how to be tolerant with others when others are not on the same page, how to respect the rights of others, how to forgive when it's so hard for us, when someone comes and do something that we don't agree with. How do we move forward with that person? Jesus came to show us that we can be understanding, that we can see things through different lenses. And as he said, I cannot tell you everything right now, but I will send you the promised consoler. And here we are studying about Spiritism, the promised consoler by Jesus. So, how are we gonna succeed in this life if we don't truly take those teachings by Jesus when he said, without charity, there is no salvation? So, how do we want to be saved? How do we want to be cured if we ourselves are not giving, are not loving? When we don't reach out to others, but we expect others to be always available, always helping, always giving. But what are we giving of ourselves, friends? That is the master that we have to bring to our lives. That in another message that is in the book Living Spring, Jesus came to show us how to be true humans on earth. People think about Jesus as this angelical figure, and he came to show us that what he did is how to be a true human on earth. So we are still too animalistic because we are too reactive. We're quick to say a word, we're quick to respond, we're quick to get enraged. But Jesus, as we read in these books, he would not be reactionary. He would stop, he would think, he would let be silence so that others could think. And then at the right moment, he would come and he would give sometimes a short sentence that would summarize it all. So tonight we're being reminded to bring this Jesus close to us because if not, as Emmanuel says in the last paragraph, as the branches of this tree, we will dry up, we will fall, and then what's gonna happen? Are we gonna stay there? No. He's bringing nature to show us what happens. The branch falls, it gets regenerated, it gets taken in by the soil, and then it serves as the nourishment for the tree so another branch can grow. So Emmanuel is saying that is us. If we don't succeed, we're gonna have to fall, reincarnate again, and try again. And how many times, as he says here, how many times have we already failed? We have dried up our branches and had to restart all over again. The problem is, friends, the fall, it gets harder and harder, and it gets harder and harder to reconstruct because it's the law of action and reaction. We're gonna have to come back to redo our past. So he's saying, let us take advantage of this life. We don't need to wait for another life because another life, there will be different circumstances. Today we're here, we have access to these books, we have access to this beautiful technology that we're here together. Next life, we don't know where we will be. We might be somewhere where Spiritism is not known, maybe not even Jesus, because we know that only one third of the population of the world say that they are Christians. So, can we imagine reincarnating a country that doesn't know about Jesus, doesn't accept Jesus? There is no Spiritism, there's no Spiritist books. So, can we imagine how hard that is? So let us take advantage of this life that we were given, a precious reincarnation, and let us not waste, friend, this opportunity. Why? To truly be able to succeed, to put Jesus as the center stage, not the passing things of life. This is different. We know it's not what society teaches us. Society teaches us to think about ourselves, to prioritize the family, to prioritize those that have our blood. And Jesus comes and says, no, let us think about the whole family because we're all brothers and sisters. Why do I help those who are quote unquote related to me, but I don't help the person that is on the streets? So Jesus came to change the paradigm, and that's how we're gonna succeed. We might not be applauded by the world because nowadays we know things are changing, things are getting better, but we're not there yet. But for Jesus, we will succeed. So, friends, let us keep this message in our minds as we do our prayer. Let us then close our eyes and let us feel the presence of Master Jesus in front of each and every one of us. Not the Master who is suffering at the cross, but that beautiful Master who smiles towards us, who is loving and caring. He approaches us and gives us a loving hug, reminding us that in order to succeed, He needs to be center stage in our lives. Dear Master Jesus, thank you for coming to earth to show us how to be true humans on earth. Thank you for showing us that the path will not be easy, that we will be stoned, we will fall, we will carry the heavy cross of our deeds from the past. But at the end, Master Jesus, if we succeed staying on the right path towards you, we will ascend with you to on high. Dear Master Jesus, we pray for everyone in the circle of prayer, that their homes, their loved ones, those who are dear to their hearts, can also feel your embrace at this time, knowing that they're loved infinitely by you. And even when things seem unsurpassable, you hold our hands firmly and you guide us through the pathway. Master Jesus, we pray for those also in hospital, nursing homes, those who are preparing themselves to discarnate. We pray for the loved ones who here stay. We pray for the mothers and fathers who are desperate because their sons and daughters are lost in all types of vices. We pray for the sons and daughters who are caring for their parents as they transition to the beyond. We pray for families on earth so that your love can be the foundation of all relationships. We pray for those who are suffering in hospitals, nursing homes, prisons of all sorts, and shelters. Master Jesus, as you told us, you are the way, the truth, and the life. And we know that with you everything is possible. Because without you, we will, as Emmanuel said, dry up and fall. Help us stay strong with you always, Master Jesus. And so be it. Dear friends, thank you for those who are here with us live. Our dear John, Slavic, Tony, and so many others whom we might not see, and those connected with us on demand. Before we close, we cannot talk about Jesus without recommending to everyone connected to us. Watch this beautiful series called The Chosen. It's free. You can download on your phone the app. You can watch the first seasons on Netflix, on Amazon Prime. It is free, friends. And it's so beautiful because they are able to capture Jesus, this loving master, as we talked about today. And he's so beautifully portrayed that brings us closer to our hearts. We have never seen Jesus being portrayed in a series, in a movies like this that match so perfectly with what we see in the books. So if you haven't watched it yet, watch the beautiful The Chosen series. You can Google it, you can find it on YouTube, small clips, and let us keep watching and rewatching so we can bring Jesus even closer to us. We hope you have a beautiful day, a beautiful evening whenever you are, and we'll see you here next time for another prayer for peace. Bye bye.